Podcast Answer Man, Girls Night In Radio. Hello, everybody, and welcome back to another episode of the Podcast Answer Man. My name is Cliff Ravenscraft. Today, I'm going to be talking with three very important podcasters, and they are somebody from the GSPN.TV community, and I think their story is very cool and something I'm very excited about. And so what I'd like to do is invite you to have a listen to the girls of the Girls Night In Radio podcast. And of course, that would be Maggie Mack. And then we have Jamie Ditterline. And we have Rachel Zizi Lisi. Did I get the Zizi Lisi right?
You did. I'm so proud of you.
You know, I literally paused and I said ZZ Top, ZZ Top, ZZ Top. Alrighty, so I'll tell you what. I need you guys to do me a favor and pick among yourselves a spokesperson to tell us what Girls Night In Radio is.
Not it.
I guess that leaves me.
And who is me here?
Rachel. Oh, goodness. All right. Girls Night In Radio is a podcast it's about movies. It's about talking. It's about the secrets of being a woman, as Jamie put it in our promo. Yeah. It's basically just the three of us. We get together every other week and we record 2 episodes at a time. We switch between doing a movie review, and then we've also recently added some internet picks and some music picks and stuff like that. And then we also do a topic show, and we've recently started doing completely random shows, which are completely off the cuff and really have almost no structure to them. And those have been a lot of fun too.
Very awesome. One of the things that I am, and I try not to think of this as like, oh, if it wasn't for me, it wouldn't exist. But I think it's kind of cool, just as a pure like wow moment for me. And that is that the three of you, and of course, this all started with a fourth person. You guys used to do a podcast instead of Girls Night In Radio. It used to be the Girls Night In podcast. So there was a fourth person that is no longer able to devote the time and attention and energy towards the show. But who wants to tell me about how this all came about?
I can do that.
Okay.
Now suddenly Maggie and I are both jumping in.
No, we don't want to let Rachel do that part. It all. What? Uh-oh. So now this is like how it usually is. It started from being in the Weekly Lost podcast chat rooms on TalkShoe, and we just started to talk, and then I think, Rachel, you said earlier it was in like April of 2007.
Yep, I remember it specifically because it was right after the Virginia Tech shootings, and that was the first time I actually remember talking to you, Maggie.
Oh, okay. So there we go. It was in the middle of April, and we would just started to talk, and then Ustream started, and Kim had set up a site with everybody's Ustream, and so we could all be on Ustream and talk and hear each other with a little bit of a delay, but it was still a ton of fun. And then probably it was closer we did that for about a month, and then around Memorial Day of May 2007, we started Girls Night In. And
well, you're forgetting the important part, is that it all started because Cliff wasn't interested in us.
Oh no, he just wasn't interested in your idea.
Yeah, that's right.
What a lame idea that was anyway.
That would never work.
That would never go over.
So Amy, it wasn't that you were uninterested in the idea, honestly. It was that you and Stephanie, I think, were a little tired. And the idea of committing to watching a certain movie every single month just wasn't all that in your cup of tea at the moment.
It's exactly what it was.
Yeah.
Which
turned out great for us.
Exactly. So tell us what happened.
I think you guys were looking for ideas for something that you could do when Lost was on hiatus, because at that time I think the Lost podcast was one of your main shows and you didn't have the 8 million that you have now. So you were looking for something to fill the time. And I had left a voicemail saying that instead of a book club, that you could have like a movie of the month club. And I believe it was Stephanie said, wow, that sounds like a great idea, but no. That's too much work for me right now. And so we were talking, we're like, well, maybe we'll do it. And I think that's how it kind of came up. We started talking about, yeah, well, maybe we'll do it then.
It's amazing you guys put up with us over the years.
You guys weren't rude about it. You said, oh, that's a good idea, but just not for us.
Well, that's good. I'm glad we weren't rude about it.
No,
it must
there was
not
no
have been. It must not have been late then, I guess. Oh my goodness! So basically, you guys met each other as a result of listening to the Weekly Lost podcast, participating in the live shows. In essence, and I'll use the phrase and tell me if it's fitting, joining the community, right?
Yes.
Right. Yeah. In fact, I think our show was maybe started in a chat room.
Right.
While listening to a Lost show because you played the voicemail.
Exactly.
And that went the conversation.
So basically, as a result of listening to the show, basically at the time, four individuals, 4 different states. How many different time zones?
3.
3 different time zones, all got together and started to say, you know what? Let's form together and start talking about different things. And then all of a sudden this podcast comes out. And so for the longest time it was the 3 of you, and then of course Kim Fenolio was in it. And through whatever circumstances she decided that she could not participate anymore. You guys decided you'd rebrand as Girls Night In Radio. And so now you're at girlsnightinradio.com. And so basically now, I apologize because I don't know how many hours into this, but have you told us about the format, what you guys do on the show yet?
A little bit.
So
I did leave out that we also give podcast and music recommendations as well.
Gotcha.
And answer what if questions.
So basically, the once a month you decide a movie, and of course it has to be on DVD. I understand.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So that way everybody has access to it.
Yeah.
And how do you guys do that? Do you decide the movie like a month in advance or a couple weeks in advance and say, hey, you've got 3 weeks and to watch the movie, and then come and join us live? Is that how you do it?
That's actually exactly how we do it. And actually, we're about to be doing a movie review in the first week of January, which is going to be on a new night because Lost is coming back in our time slot.
The first one, Maggie, the first one is going to be on the regular night.
And this is how it normally is.
Never mind. I'm like, oh gosh.
I know you're trying to. No, the first movie review will be Wednesday, January 7th, and then the next show, because Lost is taking our time slot. Why they didn't consult with us, I don't know. But so we're moving to Thursdays instead.
Very cool. And so what movie are you guys looking at in January?
Field of Dreams.
Pick.
Okay. Field of Dreams. Sorry, I was muting myself to talk to my child.
No problem. So Field of Dreams. And now, do you guys basically just give your own personal reviews of the show? Or what do you do there? Do you guys ever have harsh arguments?
I don't know that we have harsh arguments, but we still rag on Maggie for her first movie pick, which she was the only one who liked. And that was Wet Hot American Summer, which is now infamous with us. I don't know. It doesn't actually get into knockdown, drag out fights, but there's definitely times when we don't agree. We don't all like exactly the same movies, which I think some of the more interesting shows are when we don't agree.
How long?
Yeah, we try to be very respectful of each other's emotions, especially those of us who are really sensitive. But
And
Yeah,
those who wear
so
their
sweet.
hater pants.
I know. I wear hater pants and then I'm sensitive. Jeez.
She's very difficult.
I know.
What is the time format of your show? How often do you do this? Just once a month?
No, we do it twice a month. We will be moving to every other Thursday night. And so we record 2 shows at a time. So that way we have one to release every week.
Oh, wow. So you actually do release an episode every single week then?
Yep.
Yeah.
And so basically you're covering 4 movies a month?
No, we only do 1 movie a month.
Okay.
Do we do 1 or 2 movies a month? 1, right?
One. Yep.
Sorry. I haven't been on the show for a year or anything.
So
It's a movie review, kind of a what if show. Those 2 we record together, and then the next one is a main topic, kind of on anything we want to talk about, and then a what if, and then so it's 4 shows. Did I do it right?
Yep, that was right.
And then there is kind of a month for the movie. Like when we record the Field of Dreams one, I'll announce my movie pick, which I have to figure out what that's going to be. And that's hard to decide sometimes because sometimes they don't always like my movies, as you can tell.
We take turns picking the movie, so really we feel like there's a lot of pressure in your individual pick because you only get one every 3 months.
Yes.
well, how long are your shows? Like if somebody were to go to girlsnightinradio.com and hit the subscribe button and start downloading these things, and they come in once a week, how long is the actual show itself?
How long do we aim for, or how long do they end up?
Hey, we've been doing good. They're about 45 minutes to an hour.
Okay. So once a week, 45 minutes to an hour. And so obviously you guys have definitely an audience now, a loyal audience, and I would love to have you tell us about a meetup that you guys recently had. And I know we've talked about it I think Maggie and I actually talked about it in Community Voice podcast episode number 16. But for those who are listening to the podcast Answer Man, tell us about this meetup that you guys had.
Well, this past summer in July, that was when Kim still was with the show. She coordinated a meetup down in the Chicago area, and the 4 of us, well, that's near where she lives, but the other 3 of us, came in from all areas of the country, and then we had about 11 or so total, so I guess that'd be about 8. Wait, that's not right math.
I couldn't remember the numbers either.
There were about 7 other people that came in and from Texas and Florida and Canada and Ohio and just all over the place. And we spent a weekend together in a hotel getting to know each other. And it was actually pretty cool because you didn't have that weirdness that you have with people that you haven't met, because we have all interacted so much on Twitter and all over the place and talked in you guys' shows and our shows and stuff. So it was really cool.
That is awesome. That is the neatest thing I think that podcasters can do is if you've got this. First of all, you've got these listeners, and I think you guys have done a great job of interacting. You do a live format, is that correct?
Yes.
So you have a chat room. Are you using TalkShoe?
Yes.
Now, do you dial in by phone? Is that how you're doing it?
We actually do it the same way as we're doing right now. We do a Skype conference call, and then I actually have Skype phones in my house, so I have an unlimited plan. So I then call into TalkShoe, and we use Pretty May, which is a Skype add-on to record the show.
Wonderful. So basically, you are using Skype, so you're getting a really decent quality recording for the 4 of your voices. So it's not being degraded to the phone quality, but you're still using Skype to also dial out to the phone bridge, so that people who are either streaming on TalkShoe or dialed in by phone, they can actually hear everything that's going on and participate, and you take their calls.
Exactly.
And you have the chat room. So, and of course, I think anytime you add the live element, you do have the opportunity to instantly build community and relationships with people as you become accessible to them. And I think that's one of the key ingredients. Now, have you guys always done live shows from the very beginning?
Yeah.
Yes.
Maybe the very first episode was not live, but I think every other one was. I can't remember the first.
No, it was. It was live. And we've only just done like a few ones that fall on Christmas or Thanksgiving or whatnot. We've done those in advance and just post those.
Oh yeah, the Thanksgiving one wasn't live because that was supposed to be the night before Thanksgiving, and
That was the one where Maggie pulled a Fred and fell asleep while we were recording.
No way.
okay, it was almost 2 a.m. in the morning.
Oh, okay.
And that's what I mean. And it had been a Friday, and it was a long day, and I laid down on my bed, which was my first mistake. And then all of a sudden, the next thing I'm hearing is them like trying to wake me up. So yes, I did pull a Fred.
So now, as far as dialing into Skype, what are you guys all using? USB headset microphones? How do you accomplish the audio into the computer?
I'm using a USB headset.
Yeah,
USB.
so
Okay.
Okay, so everybody's using USB headsets.
Yes.
Very cool. Now, so you guys are using TalkShoe, which of course is free to use. You're hosting your show on TalkShoe, which is free to use. You guys are using Skype, which is free to use, except for the fact that you are using Skype Out, which you have an unlimited plan, so you've paid for that.
Exactly.
But how much is an unlimited plan?
Oh, goodness. It's almost time to renew. I want to say it's like $36 for the year.
Okay, so it's next to nothing.
Yeah.
So when you even it out, it's absolutely it's almost free.
and Rachel also uses that for her home phone.
Sure.
Yep.
Yeah.
And my sim show.
Yeah. So it really comes out to nothing.
Right. Basically, and then how much did each of you pay for your USB headsets? Let's start with Jamie.
Well, I have a bad habit of breaking them. So I bought one about 3 hours ago for $20. I break them and I lose them. So I probably have a working pair somewhere. But the last time we were recording, I kept talking and nobody was responding. And it took me a very long time to realize that they just weren't hearing me because my headset was broken. So I did run out before I signed on here and got a new one.
And how much did you say you spent on it?
I spent $20.
$20, okay.
Yeah, I'm about as good with headsets as I am with phones.
Maggie, how much did you spend on your headset?
I want to say this one was between $30 and $40.
Okay. And then Rachel?
Mine was about $60.
Nice.
Ooh, Rachel spends a lot more money than the rest of us.
I got twice as many podcasts, you know.
Yeah, well, I probably spend more than both of you combined over a 6-month period.
This is true.
Now, was it hard for you guys to get the technology down? Was there any issues setting up your blog or anything like that, getting the RSS feed to work, or are you just using the RSS feed that's coming off of TalkShoe?
We are just using the RSS feed off of TalkShoe for the Girls Night in Radio.
Okay.
Technical issues. Well, I set up the website. It's being hosted by Squarespace, which actually makes it pretty easy to do if you want to use one of their templates. It gets a little harder if you want to make your own, which I did. So, I mean, it was relatively easy. It probably only took me like 12 hours to get the whole thing designed and up and going and stuff like that.
Very cool. And so, the thing that's I think inspiring here is for each of you, the investments can be somewhere between $25, $50. You definitely have everything you need as long as everybody's got a computer and a high-speed internet connection, and you can really pull off a multi-state, multi-time zone podcast and have a live element where people can dial in and participate and interact live. It's just really awesome. I think that is very cool that you guys are able to do that.
Well, thank you.
It is. Yeah, thanks. It is a lot of fun.
So, if there were anybody out there that was thinking about doing kind of what you're doing, they have multiple people, multiple states, and they want to try to pull this thing off, what would be some advice that each of you would give? And we'll start with Rachel.
Oh, goodness. Some advice.
Anything as it relates to podcasting.
Okay. Well, this is kind of life too, but I guess I would say be flexible, because if there's any one thing that has caused more headaches than anything between us is just getting, like, things come up and it's like, oh no, we can't record on this day, and just trying to figure out the scheduling and working out like different people's ideas and stuff like that. Just be flexible. Gotcha.
Okay, and then Jamie, what would you say?
Well, I was going to say be flexible, but since Rachel took that, be patient. It is hard sometimes to accommodate everybody's ideas, everybody's vision for the future. And I think you're really, especially because we are strictly internet-based as far as, I mean, we can't sit down and go have coffee and talk about everything. You really just have to be understanding and open-minded, and just work on communicating.
Very cool.
So I would say that is very important. And remember that you're doing it to have fun.
Definitely.
That is
Yes.
the critical part right there. Maggie, what about you?
Okay, see, I got nothing. Rachel took mine. Mine was be flexible.
See,
Oh,
Jackie
you
likes
cheater.
to steal our answers to everything. That's why we usually make her go first. That's our tip. Make Maggie go first.
I do not. I would just say keep the lines of communication open. We send a lot of emails. We have email threads that go on forever and ever. We'll send text messages to each other. We'll send direct messages on Twitter. We're just always kind of talking. And when it comes to a show, sometimes we get very busy between shows, and we don't always. So it's something I always look forward to. Is it's my time to hang out with Rachel and Jamie and our listeners, because it's so much fun. So just talk to your friends and talk to everybody.
So there you go. When you're doing multiple people, multiple states, and trying to work with this technology, be flexible, be patient. Remember that you're in this to have fun. And the last one was
Communicate.
Yes,
Communicate.
open lines of communication. And
Hey, Cliff.
yeah,
I got one for doing live shows.
Okay.
And getting listeners and stuff and keeping them. I recommend making yourself available to them. I have been known, and actually last night I was up until 2:30 a.m., even though I had to work today, just hanging out with the listeners and being yourself, very much being yourself, because I've actually talked to some of them, and I'm like, a lot of people aren't like, oh my gosh, I'm talking to Rachel, oh my gosh. They're like, it's Rachel. She's another person. She's cool. And just being yourself with the listeners.
Yeah, that is exactly correct, and that's what I found to be the most important thing here. We oftentimes do live shows, and sometimes we get more excited and have more enjoyment in the post-show discussion than the actual show itself. And in fact, I would like to just add this, and of course, unfortunately, I haven't been involved in your guys' live productions, but my suggestion is when it comes to the live shows, make sure that you have you've thought ahead of time what it is that you want to cover and your agenda and your outline and stuff like that, and just have fun doing it and stuff. But my suggestion, the one thing to watch out for in a live show is trying to force people to get involved. It's like, oh, come on, people, dial in and stuff like that. And if people just don't dial in, just don't force it. Just continue on with your show, have fun and stuff like that. And then when the show's over, that's when you can say, okay, guys, we know you were nervous, but hey, we're not recording anymore. Let's talk. Let's chat. And the reason for that is because most of the people who are going to be hearing your podcast are the people who are downloading it. And sometimes they feel a little bit left out if all you're doing is catering to the live crowd.
Oh, yeah, totally.
And then, of course, you can, and of course, this was a really big issue for me because obviously Stephanie and I do a lot of live shows, and I used to cater to the live crowd during the shows. It's like, oh, come on, we want your thoughts. Cause somebody dial in right now. And nobody really complained, but I just imagined if I were to be the person listening to that podcast, it's like, come on, just forget about the callers. They're not calling in. Just talk to me, you know? And so I got to the point where I don't really like strongly say, hey, dial in now. Here's the number, and stuff like that. And at first it was really difficult for me to carry out this principle because I was like, oh my gosh, why would people come and listen and not participate? And, you know, are they going to feel left out, or are they going to feel like I'm ignoring them? And I think it would be the case if we record the show and then we just head out the door, which unfortunately we've had to do on occasion. But for the most part, what we do is we say, okay, we're done. You know, the lines of communication are open. You can dial in during the show anytime you want. We encourage you to do so. But if you don't, that's cool. But after the show, that's when we focus on the live audience and hanging out and stuff like that. And if you're wondering whether or not it works, I'm looking right now. So far, since in the last 24 hours, I've had about 35 people interact with me, and they've all been scheduled. You guys were each on the schedule for coming in. We've had over 6,000 people who have been watching throughout the last 18 hours of this marathon.
Wow,
That's awesome.
So, I mean, it is definitely been, the truth is that people will come, they will listen, and not everybody, believe it or not everybody wants to call in and talk.
It terrified me at first. And I know it terrifies a lot of people.
Yeah, and of course, for those of us who are podcasters, obviously we've overcome that that fear of talking in front of people. So we automatically think, come on, guys, what's the big deal? And I used to really struggle. It's like, somebody call in. It's like, and then all of a sudden it's like, okay, well, until next time, stay lost. And we hit stop. And then all of a sudden the phone lines light up and everybody's talking. They keep me up until 5 o'clock in the morning. I mean, come on, what? I'm going to hit the record button.
And then they shut up. That's the funny thing.
Yep.
But yeah, I actually, in one of my Sim shows, I had said that, I'm like, you guys should come and just hang out. It's like, I'm a dork. And apparently that has resonated with other people and has actually gotten them to come to the show because they're like, hey, she's just like us. She's a dork too.
And well, that's obviously, birds of a feather stick together, right? So obviously, I don't feel like I'm anybody special, but there are enough people that have obviously participated and considered themselves to be, a part of this community. And a lot of them, the big things I ask people, what is it that draws you to our content of gspn.tv? And it's authenticity. You're real. You don't hide anything. You don't try to pretend that you're somebody you're not. And sometimes that's good and sometimes it's not so good, but the truth is you always get the real stuff, and that's my suggestion to everybody is just be who you are. Well, folks, thank you for being a part of the podcast Answer Man.
Thanks for having us.
And thank you for being a part of the community. You guys are totally awesome. And thank you for sticking in there through 3 years of podcasting with us. And I don't know how many episodes that we've done at this point, but I have a feeling some of you have listened to almost all of them. Which Stephanie and I say, we're sorry.
Some of us need company at work, so it works out.
There we go. Well, anything else? Obviously, girlsnightinradio.com is the place where they can go and find your podcast, subscribe to it. I'll let you each say your Twitter IDs so that people who are listening to this, if they want to follow you on Twitter, they can do so. So who wants to start off?
Do it alphabetically. Jamie.
I'm sorry, I missed the question. I was looking at the chat room.
Twitter ID.
Jamers327.
All right, that's
That's
J.
that. Oh, yeah, that's JAIME because my sister thought she'd be cool and name me after the Bionic Woman. So JAIMERS 327.
Maggie.
And mine is Ilea02, ILEA02.
And me, being Rachel, is Sims 2. That's Sims, the number 2.
Very cool. Well, folks, that's the end of this episode, and I really do encourage you to check out the Girls Night In Radio podcast over at girlsnightinradiopodcast.com, or no, girlsnightinradio.com. And, if you go over to gspn.tv/forum and then go into this section where it says Podcast Answer Man, you'll find out that the Girls Night In Radio is not the only podcast produced by GSPN.TV members. In fact, there's a huge, gigantic list there, and I encourage you to check it out. Subscribe to them all, and tell them that you're also a listener of GSPN.TV programming, and I'm certain that you'll be able to join their community as well. Until next time, take it easy and join the community.